Good morning, everyone. So, we have seen a lot of Infosys verbal ability questions in the past 3 days. We have looked into the Parajumbles, the sentence correction, sentence completion, and the analogy, all those, right? So, today we are just going to have a practice of all those we have learned so far. So let us practice with the reading comprehension, the parajumbles, the analogies, the sentence correction, the sentence completion, and the usual anticipated questions which you might get on the Infosys verbal ability, right? So for that, let me just start presenting my screen. So this is what we are going to look at. Okay, so we are going to practice our verbal ability. So first we will look into the reading comprehension. So here there is a passage in front of you. So you can read the passage, and after that there is a question. So you can just go through the question and we will find out what will be the right answer. So, tailgating another vehicle is unsafe and illegal. Many rear-end collisions are caused by drivers following too close to the vehicle in front of them. The rules state that a driver must keep sufficient distance from the vehicle in front in order to stop safely and avoid a collision. Drivers should allow a minimum 2 seconds gap between their vehicle and the one ahead. At 60 kilometers an hour, this equates to 30 meters. At 100, it equates to 55 meters. More distance is needed to safely stop in rain or poor visibility. So this is the passage. So I hope you have gone through it. So read it. So try to understand what that particular passage is talking about. So it talks about the vehicle and the speed and how collisions happen and all that, right? So mostly it's talking about the tailgating, that is how two vehicles they go close to each other and all that. So once you finish reading that, let me give you another minute or two for that. Okay, so now you can read the question which is given below. Tailgating another vehicle is unsafe because, so there are options. All rear-end collisions are caused by drivers following too close to the vehicle in front. So why it is unsafe is what the passage is saying, is what they're asking. So tailgating another vehicle is unsafe because all rear-end collisions are caused by drivers following too close to the vehicle in front. It may not allow sufficient time and space to stop and avoid a collision. It is against the road rules. It is a reckless practice, and none of these. So we have all these options here. So all the rear-end collisions are caused by drivers following too close to the vehicle in front. So all of it Looks true, right? So tailgating another vehicle is unsafe. Right. So the paragraph says that it is unsafe. But why? So this is all rear-end collisions are caused by drivers following too close to the vehicle in front. And also it says it may not allow sufficient time and space to stop and avoid a collision. Right? And also it is against the road rules. And it is a reckless practice. So I'm sure you must have got the answer by now. Okay, so let us look into the. So actually it is because it may not allow sufficient time and space to stop and avoid a collision. They are caused, of course, see, they are caused by drivers following too close to the vehicle in front, yes. But why? Because there may not be time for the person to stop and avoid a collision. No time to give that sufficient time to stop and avoid a collision. That's why it is unsafe, right? So B is the right answer. So I hope all of you got that. Okay. So we have one more. Yeah. So we have one more question in that. More distance is needed to safely stop in rain or poor visibility. That is what is given there, right? More distance is needed to safely stop in rain or poor visibility. So what can we infer from this? So we can infer from this that what? So you can just go through the passage. So here we try to understand the passage and find out why they have said that. That is, more distance is needed to safely stop in rain or poor visibility. So once you understand the paragraph, it becomes easy for us to find the answer for this. So here we have these options. People drive faster in rain and poor visibility. The writer is merely calculating on the safe side. Braking is more hazardous in rain and poor visibility. The road rules state that this must be so, and all of these. Okay, so let me just give you a minute or two for this also. Take your time, try to assess what might be the answer. So more distance is needed to safely stop in rain or poor visibility. We can infer from this that people drive faster in rain and poor visibility. But the writer is merely calculating on the safe side. Braking is more hazardous in rain and poor visibility. The road rules state that this must be so. So all these are given. So I hope you got the answer by now. Try to read that and then go ahead in answering the question. Take your time, but make sure that it is correct. Yes, I hope you got the answer by now, right? So when you read the passage, what does it say? It talks about how rear-end collisions are caused and what the rules usually are in that, and how the drivers should, take some time to, to maintain that gap. And then it also says, equates that to how much it's going to be when it is according to the speed of the vehicle. So it says that, and it also says, so once that speed of the speed is calculated according to that, how the collision might happen. It says that how much of the distance it might need. Suppose there is a rain and visibility, right? So from this, we can say that there is no real, something is not given there. Like, of course, all these statements are true actually. People drive in faster in rain and poor visibility. So, actually, more distance is needed to safely stop in rain or poor visibility. It's true. And what we can understand from this is people drive faster in rain and poor visibility. And the braking is more hazardous in rain and poor visibility, and the road rules state that this must be so is given. Actually, the road rules state that more distance is needed for the vehicle to safely stop in rain or poor visibility. Is there should be a sufficient distance between the vehicle and the driver, right? That is what they have said. Yes. So it also says that braking is hazardous. So here all these things, when you see the sentences as such, yes, they are all true. That is what the passage is talking about. And through that, this thing has come. Like, after saying all that, yes, it says that distance is needed to safely stop in rain or poor visibility. So just because of that is what is understood. So you can say that the option will be E, all of these, right? So all of these are true according to the sentence, because the inference, like, from all these things, more distance is needed to safely stop in rain or poor visibility is, yes, the the writer is calculating to be on the safe side, how it will be, right? And of course, by the way they have said that more distance is needed during the safely to stop in rain or poor visibility, it says that yes, it is more hazardous in rain on, it is very dangerous during the rain, and that is why more distance is needed. That is what it says. And road rules also, see, it states the driver must keep sufficient distance. So the distance is very important, as was what the rule states, right? So So when you consider all these things, so we understand that all these statements are true. So we can go with E. Right? Clear? So I hope so. Some questions we may encounter where you will have to understand the whole thing. Only then we will be able to answer. So the passages might be short or long, but or medium. So that you will have to take maybe you can afford maybe 2 to 3 minutes for this, or maybe another minute extra, so that you need to set time for other questions also. In the sense, you will have a lot of other small ones like analogies, the fill in the blanks, the error correction and sentence correction. So many you will face, right? So as you will be you know uh, answering all the other questions, for that I think the first thing you can do is finish off all those things, because then you can finish it very quickly. That they may not take much time. They may just you can finish them within like you can give each question, you can take around some seconds, like 30 seconds or 1 minute, like that, and try to finish off, so that you can have some time for this, because you need to read and then understand the question, and then you will have to tick out the answer. No, at times, they may give a word, and they may ask a synonym, like what does this particular word mean in the context here? So they may say like that. So then you will have to understand that and write the answer, right? Tick the right answer. Everywhere you will have options, so you can just find out and tick it, right? So clear? So reading comprehension. So we have done one passage now. So what we will do is we will look into another passage. So this is another passage. You can just go through this passage. The debate on whether Australia will have a nationwide carbon trading scheme ended last week, with the government committed to a national emission scheme from 2012. However, the decision making as to how we power the economy in a carbon constrained world is only just beginning. Fossil fuels like coal and oil have underpinned our economic growth and standard of living for decades. The current resources boom is there because other countries want our fossil fuels, and for all these reasons, it is profitable to keep mining them. Ironically, the income may help develop the technologies to replace them, but it is a matter of which and when. And almost certainly, in the race to reduce emissions, new technologies such as solar, wind, and geothermal means heat from rocks, power will compete against gas, clean coal, and perhaps nuclear energy to win the hearts and minds of the business world. In the end, business will favor whatever is a cheap, abundant, and reliable solution. You can imagine the lobbying that will ensue from the different interest groups to attract business capital and government support so that their technology wins out. There may be many collapsed ventures and lost fortunes along the way. So you can just give it a read again. So I hope you finished reading that. You might have answered the first question also. So it talks about the debate on whether Australia will have a nationwide carbon trading scheme ended last week, but the government committed to a national emission scheme from 2012. So it talks about the fuel, right? Fossil fuel. So decision making as to how we power the economy in a carbon constrained world is only just beginning. So fossil fuels like coal and oil have underpinned our economic growth and standard of living for decades, right? So that is what it says. And the current resources boom is there because other countries want our fossil fuels, and for all these reasons it is profitable to keep mining them, right? Ironically, the income may help develop the technologies to replace them, but it is a matter of which and when. So almost certainly, in the race to reduce the emissions, new technologies such as solar, wind and geothermal power will compete against the gas, clean coal and perhaps nuclear energy to win the hearts and minds of the business world. In the end, the business will favor whatever is cheap, abundant and reliable solution. You can imagine the lobbying that will ensue from the different interest groups to attract business capital and government support so that the technology wins out. There may be many collapsed ventures and lost fortunes along the way. So just give it a read. I hope you got it right. So we will look into the question here. Fossil fuels will be in demand for some time yet because. So what it says is it will still be in demand for some time because we have no other options. They are plentiful and cheap in Australia. So that's what it says. And our wealth and lifestyle are at present dependent on them. A and B together, in the sense we have no other options. They are plentiful and cheap in Australia. Okay. And B and C together, if you put, they are plentiful and cheap in Australia. Our wealth and lifestyle are at present dependent on them. So these are the four options we have. So when you look into the answers, okay, so now again let us say whether you have got the answer. So read through the lines where it says fossil fuels will be in demand and all that. Yeah, got it? Okay. So when you read these sentences, look at the sentences. Fossil fuels like coal and oil have underpinned our core economic growth and standard of living for decades. Means they are the base for their economic growth and standard of living for decades. The country has been striving because of the fossil fuels. Okay, so that is the reason. See when you see the option C, our wealth and lifestyle are at present dependent on them. So it has been there. They have been dependent on that. Because of that only their economic growth has happened. So that is one thing. And they are plentiful and cheap in Australia. If you look into this current resources boom is there because other countries want our fossil fuels and therefore it is profitable for mining them. Because the other countries are taking them, it is profitable for mining them. So totally it says they are plentiful and they are cheap in Australia. At the same time, their wealth and lifestyle also are dependent on them, right? Okay. So it is answer is E, where B and C together is the right answer. So it doesn't say we have no other options. There is nothing says there are no other options. Right? Yes. Hope I'm clear. Okay. So we will look into the next. One more question with this. So the same passage has another question. In the writer's view, there may be many collapsed ventures along the way. Because, so in the writer's view, there are many collapsed ventures along the way. That's what they've in the last sentence they've said. There may be many collapsed ventures and lost fortunes along the way. So why is what is the whole thing? I mean, the sentences which come before that says why, right? So cheaper fossil fuels will continue to be used for a long time. Business will favor existing sources rather than undergoing expensive change. Carbon emission rules will cripple new energy sources. Not all the options will be adopted, so the cheaper and more efficient will survive. So we have all these options. So cheaper fossil fuels will continue to be used for a long time. Yes. So that's what it it says also. And business will favor existing sources rather than undergoing expensive change. Here, what is the question? Why is it that there will be a lot of collapsed ventures? In the sense, why there will be a lot of businesses? See, it says here, okay, almost certainly in the race to reduce emissions, new technologies such as solar, wind, and geothermal power will compete against gas, clean coal, and perhaps nuclear energy to win the hearts and mind of the business world. So, business world they may start using it to do a lot of to clean the carbon, not to have any carbon pollution, right? So they may have used a clean coal and perhaps nuclear energy, all these things. They will compete against the gas, all this. They may use a solar, wind, and geothermal and power. Sorry. So they will be using a lot of solar, wind, and geothermal power because that doesn't have this, carbon emission. So they may be doing that. But then, why there will be a collapsed venture is what the question is about, right? So carbon emission rules will cripple new energy sources. Not all options will be adopted, so the cheaper and more efficient will survive, right? So all the options may not be adopted, so the cheaper and more efficient will survive, right? So you got the answer for that? So it is not that expensive change. It may have the lobbying between the different interests. People will have different interests, and the groups will have different interests, and there'll be a lobbying and to attract the business capital, government support, so that the technology wins out. Their technology they want to win. So they are going in for to attract the capitals in the sense they want that it should be cheaper and more efficient. will solve. So all the options may not win out. It means it will not be adopted, right? So D will be the answer. So not all the options will be adopted. So the cheaper and more efficient will survive, right? So clear? I hope all of you got this answer. Okay. So with that reading comprehension, we have at least tried to complete a little bit. So we will look into Parajumbles. So you can read through the passage. You can put it in order and say which is the right option. But in the industrial era, destroying the enemy's productive capacity means bombing the factories which are located in the cities. So in the agrarian era, if you need to destroy the enemy's productive capacity, what you want to do is burn his fields, or if you're really vicious, salt them. Now in the information era, destroying the enemy's productive capacity means destroying the information infrastructure. How do you do battle with your enemy? The idea is to destroy the enemy's productive capacity, and depending upon the economic foundation, that productive capacity is different in each case. With regard to defense, the purpose of the military is to defend the nation and be prepared to do battle with its enemy. So you can read it. There are a lot of clues here. You can try to find out through the clues. You can just try to put it in order. So easy, I think, right? Through the clues we had earlier, it must be easy for you to, put them in the right order. So you can just go through and, find where your clues are, what words tell you, like which comes first, which comes second. The moment you see you understand any two sentences which is going one after the other or one before the other, and look at it in the option, search for such option, then definitely you can finish it off quickly, right? I'm sure you must have got it by now. Anyway, I'll just give you another minute. Just go through, try to find out, and we will go with the answer. So by now you must have got it, I think. It's not a very difficult one. So within 2 minutes you could finish it. Yes, so shall we just have a look at the answer? Okay. So option A is correct, right? So did you get option A as the answer? Okay, actually here what they have said is, if you look at the transition word but in the first sentence, so there is something contrary to that, some idea has started in some other sentence. So it says institutional era. So contrary to that, with respect to era, we should find out. So if we just see the 2 and 3, it says so in the agrarian era, now in the information era. So it has to be so and then but and then now, right? So only then it goes in an order. So it is like this, but it is like this, and now it's like this. So that is how it is. So where do you find that order where 2, 1 and 3? It is there in option A. So you can go with it. Or you also can look at it like this. There is another way. When you read the, sometimes we may think the whole thing starts with a question. So how do you battle with your enemy? But when you look into the 6th sentence, with regard to defense, the purpose of the military is to defend the nation and be prepared to battle to do battle with its enemy. So once you read that, you understand that to be prepared to do battle with its enemy. Then how do you battle with your enemy? Right? So that is the next one. So when you look into the 6 and 4, where do you get that? In the A option. Right? And so when you check the A option, just let us say 6 is with regard to defense. The purpose of the military is to defend the nation and be prepared to do battle with its enemy. How do you battle with your enemy? Then comes, it says 5. So the idea is to destroy the enemy's productive capacity. So how do you battle? So you got the idea. The idea is to destroy the enemy's productive capacity, and depending upon the economic foundation, that productive capacity is different in each case. Okay, so that till that. Then that was the idea. But so in the agrarian era, if you need to destroy the enemy's productive capacity, what you want to do is burn his fields, or if you're really vicious, salt them. So that was in that era. Then again, but in the industrial era, now in the information era. So it is completely proved that A is the answer, right? So when you go through and try to look into such clues, it becomes easy for us to understand which is the answer, or which option is the answer, right? Clear now? Yeah, you can just go through, try to read. If I am too fast, you can just give it a read and try to get whatever is there in that. Got it? Hope you were able to understand this. Okay. So we will. Shall we move into the next one? So we have one more Parajumble. Just read this also. Try to find out what is the answer for this also. In my view, a priority sector should be an area of market failure. Priority sectors include agriculture, small-scale industries, housing, exports, etc. Economics say that a market has failed when the market does not provide efficient outcomes for society. The Government of India directs substantial bank credit to what it deems are priority sectors for the Indian economy. It is not clear how sectors get identified for the priority tag, as there is no clearly articulated logic. Markets fail for a variety of reasons. Yes, read them, try to understand how we'll be able to find out. Here also we have some clues um, which will point out to the answer in the options. Yes, got the answer. Okay, got it. So actually, when you look into the whole thing, you will need to first identify what the whole thing is talking about. Like, what is the subject of this passage? So once you get it, then I think it will become easy for us to identify the right answer. Okay, so I think you must have got it by now. So yes, that is option A. So actually, when you look into why we are selecting it, is if you see it talks about priority sectors, and when you are introducing that priority sector, there is a the inverted commas, means when on the initially when you introduce that particular subject, they are putting that in inverted commas to that priority sector to show that the subject is this, right? So the government of India directs substantial bank credit to what it deems are priority sectors for the Indian economy. Okay, so then after this, it defines what I mean. It says what all does it include. The priority sector. What does it include? That once that priority sector is introduced in the paragraph, then it talks about what is it about. What is it? So priority sectors include agriculture, small scale industries, housing, exports, etc. So the four after four you have two. So where in the option you have that 4 into A option. So if you go and check into that, then it says it is not clear how sectors get identified for the priority tag, as there is no clearly articulated logic. So that makes sense. And then it says 1. In my view, a priority sector should be an area of market failure. Then about after that person's view, economics say. What do the economics say on that? Economics say that the market has failed when the market does not provide efficient outcomes for society. So that is what it says. And then goes markets fail for a variety of reasons. So market has failed, it says. And why markets fail is variety of reasons is what is given in the last sentence. Okay. So the connection is understood, right? You are able to understand the connection between the sentences. So now we can, so that we'll be able to understand that A is the right option. Clear? Okay, I hope you got that right also. So we need to practice even more. That will help us, make sure that all what we do is correct, right? Okay, fine. So let us, with that, we will move to, a lot of fill in the blanks, the analogies, and, fill in the blanks based on tenses, prepositions, and sentence correction, error identification. Okay, right. So here we have error identification. So Let us read and find out which part of the sentence has the error. So there are lot of 5 sentences given here. So every sentence has a slash. Okay, every sentence is divided into 3 or 4, and every part has been given a letter to it. Okay, so we will have to find out which part of the sentence has the error. That is, which letter, the part of the sentence which has this letter is having the error, is what we have to find. So here the first sentence, they had managed a few crises in the past, so they were able to handle the situation fairly well. So you can just read it and try to find out which part of the sentence has an error. They had managed a few crises in the past, so they were able to handle the situation fairly well. So if it is in the A part, then you can say A. If it is in the B, you can say B. And if it is C, maybe you can just say C. Or if it's D, you can say it is D. If it is like they had managed a few, if you find the error in that, you can say A. Crisis is in the past. If you feel that is wrong, you can say B. So they were able, if you feel that is the place where that mistake is there in that sentence, you can say C. To handle the situation fairly well, if you feel that is not correct, then you can say it is D. So I think I'm clear. You can just go ahead and say the answer. At times the whole sentence may look all correct. Sometimes you feel like that it looks as if all are right. I don't find the error anywhere in this sentence. Sometimes we may feel like that, but maybe you will have to look a little closely, then you will be able to understand. By now you must have found out. Very important, because we have to do it quickly now, right? Okay. Yeah, I hope you have found the answer. Anyway. Okay, we will move to the next one. I hope you have found next one. Then towards the end, we will just look into what are the right answer for all the 5 questions. If you would have told me, I would have given you my honest advice. If you would have told me, I would have given you my honest advice. So here again, if the first part of the sentence has got an error, you can say A. Or if the middle one has some error in it, you can say B. Or if the last part has an error, you can say C. So the sentence is divided into 3 parts here. So the slashes are given, 3 parts are given. So you can just identify which part of the sentence has the error. So ekkada error undi, first parta, మధ్యలో parta, last parta అనేది కనుక్కోవాలి. If you would have told me, I would have given you my honest advice. Next, the 4 participants discussed it between themselves. So the 4 participants discussed it between themselves. So ikkada kuda ekkada error anedi ee statement kuda 3 parts ka divide ayundi. Means it is divided into 3 parts with a slash in between. The 4 participants, it discussed it between themselves. So there are 3. So whichever part you feel is has the error, you can just say. We thought, we'll just move on to the next one. We thought we were going to expand this year, but we actually have less people now than we did 2 years ago. We thought we were going to expand this year, but we actually have less people now than we did 2 years ago. So here again ఈ sentence అనేది 4 parts గా ఉన్నాయి. సో ఇక్కడ sorry, the D is missing. The last part ఉంటే D అని పెట్టండి. The first part you can write A, the second one you can write B, third one you can write C, and if it is the fourth one you can write D. So it is, as you can see, there is slash in between all the parts of the sentences. So you can just mention which part is the mistake is from. Error ekkada ani చెప్పచ్చు. So I'll just give you another few minutes for that. Few moments actually. We'll move on to the next one. She is trying to concentrate herself on finishing her degree. She is trying to concentrate herself on finishing her degree. So here again the whole sentence is divided into 3, A, B and C. Ikkada A part lo error అని అనిపిస్తుందో you can just mention that A, B or C. Okay, done. I'm sure by now you must have finished. So we will look into the answers. So ikkada answers చూడకపోతే, they had managed a few crises in the past, so they were able to handle the situation fairly well అనేది sentence కదా. యూజువల్గా క్రైసిస్ అని వచ్చినప్పుడు క్రైసిస్ కి ప్లూరల్ ఫామ్ అనేది ఈఎస్ తో ఎండ్ అవుతుంది. ఓకే, ఐఎస్ ఉన్న ఏ ఇర్రెగ్యులర్ వర్బ్ అయినా ప్లూరల్ ఫామ్ అనేది ends with es. Okay, so you can't say, you need not say crisis. You just have to put remove that is and put es ante. So crisis ante, not crises. So that is where the mistake lies. Crisis antamu, plural name crisis antamu. So crises ante, not crises. Okay, so the same way diagnosis kuda diagnosis antam. That's all. So that is how it has to be. Okay, got it? I hope that is where the mistake is. I hope you all got that mistake. And the second one is like this: if you had have told me, I would have given you my honest advice అని చెప్పారు. ఇక్కడ ఇది hypothetical past. Hypothetical past అంటే something which is imaginary, which didn't happen, చెప్పి ఉంటే అన్న ఒక మీనింగ్ లో వచ్చింది కదా. ఇఫ్ యూ హ్యాడ్ టోల్డ్ మీ అని చెప్పాలి అప్పుడు. సో ఇఫ్ క్లాజ్ ఉన్నప్పుడు అక్కడ పాస్ట్ పర్ఫెక్ట్ తీసుకుంటుంది. హ్యాడ్ టోల్డ్ అనేది పాస్ట్ పర్ఫెక్ట్. ఓకే, సో ఇఫ్ యూ హ్యాడ్ టోల్డ్ మీ, ఐ వుడ్ హ్యావ్ గివెన్ యూ మై ఆనెస్ట్ అడ్వైస్. ఓకే, రిజల్టెంట్ క్లాస్ లో ఏమో వుడ్ హ్యావ్ అనేది వస్తుంది. కుడ్ హ్యావ్, మైట్ హ్యావ్ అలా వస్తుంది. వుడ్, కుడ్ ఆర్ మైట్ హ్యావ్. సో అనేది ఎప్పుడు కూడా మనం హైపోథెటికల్ పాస్ట్ మనకు దాని గురించి చెప్తున్నప్పుడు అంటే ఇమాజినరీ పాస్ట్ ఇఫ్ సంథింగ్ హ్యాపెండ్ అని చెప్తాం కదా, అలా చెప్తున్నప్పుడు పాస్ట్ పర్ఫెక్ట్ లో తీసుకుంటుంది. ఇఫ్ క్లాస్ అనేది పాస్ట్ పర్ఫెక్ట్. ఇఫ్ యూ హ్యాడ్ టోల్డ్ మీ, ఇఫ్ యూ హ్యాడ్ బీన్ దేర్, అట్లా. సో అలా వస్తాయి. సో ఇది అండ్ ద రిజల్టెంట్ క్లాస్ అంటే నెక్స్ట్ క్లాస్ అనేది ఐ వుడ్ హ్యావ్ గివెన్ యూ మై honest advice. That is how you will get it. Okay, what would you have done if you had been there? So this is also one more if clause. If clause దగ్గర if you had been there అక్కడికి వెళ్ళి ఉంటే what would you have done అని వచ్చింది, రైట్? సో would you have అని వచ్చింది కదా, అట్లా. So this is how that is the structure of the sentence. Okay, so clear, I think. Next, the four participants discussed it between themselves. So here we need to use among, because we are talking about more than two things. We are not talking about two people. We are talking about four. The four participants we are talking about, right? So if we are talking about two distinct items, then we have to say between. For otherwise we need to use among. Okay, so the right answer will be the four participants discussed it among themselves. Clear? Then I hope you got that also right. Okay, then the fourth one, although using less before count nouns. Okay, less is sometimes acceptable, but the rule is that we use fewer before count nouns. Okay, that nouns which can be counted, and not uncountable nouns ante we have to use less. Okay, like for example countable nouns ante enti, cars, people, resources, ఇటువంటి అన్ని countable nouns kada. So but you have to use fewer, అదే బెస్ట్. ఓకే, uncountable nouns దగ్గర we can use like patience, time, determination, all these are uncountable, non-countable or uncountable nouns. దీనికి ముందు మనం యూజ్ చేసేది less యూజ్ చేస్తాం. ఓకే, so we have fewer candidates for this position than we expected. So that is another way of saying fewer candidates. Candidates అని వచ్చినప్పుడు fewer candidates అంట, right? Okay, so that is the mistake there. So and okay, let us just see the sentence here. So we have fewer people now. And people kada adi. So we have to expect we have fewer people now than we did 2 years ago. We thought we were going to expand this year, but we actually have fewer people now than we did 2 years ago, because it's a countable noun. Otherwise, if it was uncountable noun, then maybe that less would have been the right thing. So the option is C. Okay, she's trying to concentrate herself on finishing her degree, it says. So there is no herself is the one word which shouldn't be there. Okay, she's trying to concentrate on finishing her degree. That's enough. We need not again say the pronoun of hers again, right? Okay, so that is the answer. I hope clear. All of you got that answer. You all must have got that answer by now. Hope so. Okay, we are moving on to analogies. So we got gravity, pull, the first one, and then the options are iron, metal, North Pole, directions, magnetism, attractions, dust, desert. Go ahead and try to do that now. Gravity, pull, we have iron, metal, North Pole, directions, magnetism, attractions, dust, desert. Must be quite easy, right? We have already discussed. For those who have yesterday whom you have missed, right? Let me again tell you how to work on this. Analogies are nothing but pairs of words, right? We need to find either a new pair of words or a word in a pair. Okay, so it depends on the blank. So usually they give a pair of word where we have to find out what is the relation between the pair of words. అంటే రెండు వర్డ్స్ ఇస్తారు, ఆ వర్డ్స్ మధ్యలో ఉన్న రిలేషన్ ఏంటి అనేది ముందు మనం కనుక్కొని అలాంటివే రిలేషన్ ఉన్న ఇంకో రెండు వర్డ్స్ ని మనం కనుక్కోవాలి ఆప్షన్స్ లో నుంచి. ఆర్ సపోజ్ దే హ్యావ్ గివెన్, ఒకవేళ వాళ్ళు ఇలా ఇచ్చారనుకోండి, ఓ పేర్ ఆఫ్ వర్డ్స్ ఇచ్చేసేసి నెక్స్ట్ ఇంకొక వర్డ్ ఇచ్చారంటే వీ నీడ్ టు ఫైండ్ అవుట్ ది అనదర్ వర్డ్ ఫర్ దట్ పేర్. ఆ వర్డ్ కి ఉన్న ఇంకో రిలేటెడ్ వర్డ్ ని మనం కనుక్కొని అక్కడ పెట్టాలి. దట్ విల్ బి ఇన్ ద ఆప్షన్స్, రైట్? సో ఇట్ మైట్ బి ఎయిదర్ ఆఫ్ ద టూ, ఇట్లాగైనా ఇవ్వచ్చు అట్లాగైనా ఇవ్వచ్చు. సో వీ జస్ట్ హ్యావ్ టు ఫైండ్ అవుట్. సో ఐ హోప్ ఐఎమ్ క్లియర్. సో ఇప్పుడు మళ్ళీ యూ కెన్ జస్ట్ ఫైండ్ అవుట్. సో గ్రావిటీ పుల్ అని ఇచ్చారు, దీనికి ఉన్న రిలేషన్ చూసుకోండి, దాని తగ్గట్టు ఉన్న రిలేషన్ ఉన్న ఇంకొక రెండు వర్డ్స్ అనేది అక్కడ కనుక్కోండి. ఐరన్ మెటల్ ఇచ్చారు, నార్త్ పోల్ డైరెక్షన్స్ ఇచ్చారు, మ్యాగ్నెటిజం అట్రాక్షన్స్ ఇచ్చారు, డస్ట్ డిజర్ట్. సో అమాంగ్ దీస్ విచ్ ఇస్ ద రైట్ ఆప్షన్ అనేది మీరు కనుక్కోవాలి. Yes, I'm sure you all have, waiting to do that. You must have got the answer by now. Okay? Yeah. Good. So let us look into the next one. Mundane and spiritual. Mundane and spiritual. So that is common, ghostly, worldly, unworldly, routine, novel, secular, clerical. So those are the words, options given. So mundane, spiritual, common. So mundane, spiritual is the two words. So you will just have to find out what is the relation between those two and then go ahead with the options. The options are common, ghostly, worldly, unworldly, routine, novel, secular, clerical. So just go look into the options and see which two words have almost the same relation as, almost completely same relation as that which is in the question. Okay, na? Go ahead. I think that must have been very easy, right? Must have got the answer by now. Okay. See, it just takes seconds. You can just finish it off. Not a very big deal. Well, coming to the next one, 10 decimal. So we have 10 decimal. Okay, so here goes the options. 7 septet, 4 quartet, 2 binary, 5 quints. So 7 septet, 4 quartet, 2 binary, 5 quints. So I think some of you must have got the answer by now. You can look into the relation between 10 and decimal and see if the same relation exists between any of the other pairs. మిగతా pairs లో కూడా అటువంటి ఉన్నాయా అనేది కనుక్కోండి and just go ahead and do it. Got it? Is it a little confusing? I don't think so. You can find it. Okay, done. That's it. Will not take much time for this, right? So, shall we look into the options now? There goes the options. So when you see the answers, I'm sorry, this is the answer. So when you look into the first one, gravity and pull. So you know how it is, gravity and pull, the force. Okay. So the same way, when you see the iron and metal, no, it doesn't have the same relation. North pole and directions, again, no. But magnetism and attraction, when you see that pull, yeah, that force, right, is there. So that is the right option. So C is the answer for the first one. I'm sure all of you must have got that. And looking into going to the next one, mundane and spiritual. Mundane and spiritual. See, when you look into that, common and ghostly. So you can't say that ghostly and common, have the same relation as mundane and spiritual. So spiritual is something, which is more of uh, uh, you know that being very spiritual, and mundane is something which is not so spiritual. So that is opposite. Actually, when you look into those words, mundane and spiritual both have that opposite meaning, but common and ghostly doesn't have that opposite in meaning. And but when you look into worldly and unworldly, they are completely opposite in meaning, right? Worldly and unworldly, so opposite. So you can go with that B option. But when again you see the routine and novel, no, that doesn't go. And secular and clerical also completely doesn't go at all, right? Okay, so B is the right option. And going to the third one, 10 and decimal. 10 and decimal. Here, okay. Decimal, when you take, then it refers to the 10 system, right? So the same way, binary, when you take, it refers to the 2 system, right? So that is the reason we have to go for C, that is 2 and binary. But 7 is a septet, and 4 is a quartet is a 4 thing, and the septet is a 7 relates to that 7 thing, right? And so those are not at all the option for that. So binary and 2. So that is the right option. So I think you all must have got it right. You're all clear with this. I'm sure about that. And now we will move into the fill in the blanks. So there are a lot of fill in the blanks. So as I told you earlier, indaga cheppinattu, fill in the blanks lo, various these correction వస్తుంది, sentence correction, sentence completion రావచ్చు, pertaining to the articles రావచ్చు, tenses రావచ్చు, or maybe the prepositions రావచ్చు. So you will just have to see the right option and try to put in the blanks. Okay, so coming to this blanks, we can just look into this. Read the blanks. Linguistics is my dash. So you can just find out what is the option. 40, special and promise. So ఈ మూడిట్లో ఏది అనేసి మనం అంటే ఒక యూజువలీ సమ్ టైమ్స్ ఒక ఫ్రేజ్ కానీ ఈడియమ్స్ కానీ సేయింగ్స్ కానీ ఉంటది. అవి మనకు బాగా, అది ఫిక్స్డ్ వర్డ్స్ అనమాట. ఒక ఫ్రేజ్ అంటే ఒక ఫిక్స్డ్ సెట్ ఆఫ్ వర్డ్స్ ఉంటాయి. ఈడియమ్స్ లో కూడా ఒక ఫిక్స్డ్ సెట్ ఆఫ్ వర్డ్స్ ఉంటాయి. అదేలాగా సేయింగ్ అంటారు, వాటికి కూడా ఫిక్స్డ్ సెట్ ఆఫ్ వర్డ్స్ ఉంటాయి. ఇలాంటివన్నీ లైక్ ఇఫ్ వి నో అ ఫ్యూ ఆఫ్ దెమ్, సో ఏమవుతుందంటే ఆ వర్డ్స్ ఆప్షన్ లో మనం ఉన్నిందంటే డెఫినెట్ గా ఆన్సర్ కనుక్కోవడం ఈజీగా ఉంటుంది, రైట్? సో ఫ్రేజెస్, ఈడియమ్స్, సేయింగ్స్ ఇవన్నీ హ్యావ్ a fixed set of words. Suppose you know those sayings, or you know those phrases, you know those particular idiom, then it becomes easy for you to select the options from the answer from the options నుంచి ఆన్సర్ కనుక్కోవడం చాలా ఈజీగా ఉంటుంది. సపోజ్ మనకు అవన్నీ కొన్ని తెలిసి ఉంటాయి, సో వాళ్ళు అడగొచ్చు, బ్లాంక్స్ కి ఇలాంటివి కూడా అడగొచ్చు. సో వీ హ్యావ్ టు బి ప్రిపేర్డ్ ఫర్ ఇట్. కామన్ కొన్ని యూ జస్ట్ try to read. And one more thing is, ఇదంతా మళ్ళీ ఏంటంటే ఒక ప్రాక్టీస్ తో రావడం. సో ద మోర్ యూ ప్రాక్టీస్, యాజ్ యూ రీడ్ అ లాట్, యాజ్ వి ఆల్రెడీ డిస్కస్, రెగ్యులర్ రీడర్స్ ఉంటారు. ఆ రెగ్యులర్ రీడర్స్ అన్న వాళ్ళు, వెన్ యూ కీప్ రీడింగ్, యూ విల్ కమ్ అక్రాస్ అ లాట్ ఆఫ్ సచ్ థింగ్స్, ఈడియమ్స్ కానీ, ఫ్రేజెస్ కానీ, సేయింగ్స్ కానీ, అలాంటివి మనం రీడ్ చేస్తూ ఉంటే అది ఒక్కసారి అలవాటు అయిపోతుంది, ఆ వర్డ్స్ అలాగే మనకు వచ్చేస్తుంది. సో you can just you'll be able to find out the answer for them. So let us find out for the first one. Linguistics is my what? 40 special prompts. So enti anedi meeru chudandi, answer chudandi. A na, B na, C na, you can write down. Okay, so next one చూస్తే, if she dash then I will provide accommodation. If she dash then I will provide accommodation. So ఇక్కడ would be ready staying anundi, is ready to stay anundi, be ready staying anundi. So you can find out the answer. I'm sure this is quite easy. The tenses kinda vastundi kabatti you can always find out which goes elanti verb akkadiki pettali anedi kanukondi. It's not a very difficult thing, I'm sure. Done? Yeah, this should hardly take much time, no? Okay, done. Next, a journalist's job is not always to make people smile, dash things that make them anxious, and sit up and take notice. So a journalist's job is not always to make people smile, dash things that make them anxious, and sit up and take notice. Actually, this is a very simple one if you can read the sentence. So when you look at the sentence structure and understand the idea behind that sentence, it becomes easy, right? Okay, I hope you all got that answers, right? So let us just check them. Okay, so here goes. So they're all coming one by one, right? So linguistics is my 40. So that is what usually they say. It is it is a set of fixed words. Linguistics is my 40. Okay, I mean, in the sense when you talk about something, is my passion or something like that, you say it is my 40. Okay. Then goes B. If she is ready to stay, then I will provide accommodation. So that is how it goes. If she is ready to stay, then I will provide accommodation. That is the right answer. Here, when you look into that, you will know that not always. So if it is not always that, then what is the next one? It has to be opposite. So opposite one is only but will come there. So but has that option, but to tell them. Okay, so but to tell them things that makes them anxious and sit up and take notice. That is C. Right? I hope I'm clear. You all got it right? Super. Wonderful. So we will just move on to another set of questions. So some more fill in the blanks to look into. So read it out. All of us at some point in time have purchased dash was actually needed, simply because there was a sale going on. All of us at some time some point in time have purchased dash was actually needed simply because there was a sale going on. So you can fill in the blanks with all these options. Much than that, many than that, more than that, several than that. Okay, got it? Sure, you must have got it by now. Okay, fine. We'll move on to the next one. He's always bothering me. I wish he would dash. So this is also, a phrase. So if you know the phrase, it becomes so easy. So there are 4 options here. Get under my skin, get his get his feathers in a bunch. I'm so sorry about that. And get off my back, get the ball rolling. So there are 4. You can just select which suits that particular blank. So get under my skin, get his feathers in a bunch, get off my back, get the ball rolling. I'm sure you will know that. Not a very difficult one to do, right? Okay. So the third one goes like this: the dash the flask containing acid burst. So here you will have to write the set of words which is given in the options. While mulling over various new methods, while the professor was mulling through various new methods, while the professor was mulling over various new methods, while professors was mulling over various new methods. So you can just see which is the right option which goes in that blank. While mulling over various new methods. So got the answer? I'm sure you would have. So let us just check the answers. Okay, there they are. Yeah. Okay. So all of us at some point in time have purchased more than that was actually needed simply because there was a sale going on. I'm sure it would have happened to most of us, right? Yeah. We would do just that because there is a sale, we just go and buy something. Okay. Then here goes, he's always bothering me. I wish he would get off my back. So he would get off my back means he would stop bothering me. That's what it says. And then the third one is also the number 3, where while the professor was mulling over various new methods, the flask containing acid burst. So that is the option. While the professor was mulling over various new methods, the flask containing acid burst. So got it all right? Good, superb, wonderful. That's really nice. So we will move on to the next one. So we have a few things here. So some, the first one is correcting the sentence. So you will have to read what is it you will have to do and then go ahead and do that. So the first one is finding the correct sentence. Second one is finding the error part in the sentence. And the third one is again, you have to find the underlined, substitute for the underlined part. Okay. Okay. So let us go with the first one. The problems involved in this operation, I think, are numerous. So that is the sentence. So you will have to find out there are 4 options, like 4 sentences. If you just read the sentence, that is the first one is A. Okay, the problems involved in this operation, I think, are numerous, is the first sentence. The second sentence goes like this: I think of the problems as being numerous in this operation. The problems involved in this operation are, I think, numerous. Okay. Then numerous problems are involved in this operation, I think. So which is the right way in the sentence? Which is the right way to put? So go through, read, and try to understand and say the option. So A, B, C, D, four options are there. I mean, the four sentences are there. The same sentence is being written in four different ways. So you will just have to find out which is the right way in which that sentence is put. So whether it is A, B, C, or D. Okay. The problems involved in this operation, I think, are numerous. Is the first one. The second one is I think of the problems as being numerous in this operation. The problems involved in this operation, I think, are numerous. Numerous problems are involved in this operation, I think. Okay, got it? Yeah. Okay. So then we will move to the second one. Here again we have error. So in case as we had seen earlier, A, B, C, or D. So in case there is no error in the whole thing, you can say D. In case there is an error, you can say which part has an error. Children often quarrel on petty issues. Children often quarrel on petty issues. And the next one goes like this. Ever since the government announced its new policy, the private institutions had run into bad weather. Ever since the government announced its new policy, the private institutions had run into bad weather. Yeah, got that also? I'm sure you have completed both, right? Okay. So we'll move into the third one. Here, the underlined part of the sentence has to be corrected. I mean, the options has to be selected from the ABCD. The right answer should be selected from them and replaced which should replace the underlined words. Okay. If the sentence is correct as it is, the answer is no correction required or no improvement. Okay. I took the cycle which he thought yesterday. I took the cycle which he thought yesterday. So, or should it be that he bought yesterday, that he had bought yesterday, that which he had bought yesterday? So you can just put in the right answer. Okay, done? I'm sure you would have finished by now. So let us look into the right options, right answers. Okay. So here, find the right sentences where C is the right option because the problems involved in this operation, and there is a comma, then I think, comma, and then numerous. In the first sentence, the punctuations are missing, so the answer is not correct. And I think of the problems as being numerous is again not a right thing. As being numerous, we don't say. And numerous problems or involved in this operation, I think also doesn't have a punctuation. So when you look at the third one, the C, the problems involved in this operation are, I think, numerous is the right one. Okay, I hope you all got that right. And when you look into the second, children often quarrel on petty issues. So when you see that, here we can say that this has no error. We can go with the D because children often quarrel on petty issues is the right way in which you put the sentence. And then so then when you go to the next one, every since the government, it says, so that is the A part is wrong. So where you have to say ever since the government announced its new policy, the private institutions had run into bad weather. So that is how that is the right option. Okay, so I hope we are clear till here. Then moving on to the next one, I took the cycle I took the cycle that he had bought yesterday. That's the right option. I took the cycle that he had bought yesterday. Okay. Okay. So with that, we will just move into one more set of questions. So here we need to put in the right verb. So just go ahead and let's see how this goes. A famous singer had been contracted to sign at a Paris opera house and ticket sales dash booming. So here actually, if you read through the sentences, every sentence you need to fill in the right verb, and all the sentences are from a same paragraph. Okay, they're all from the same paragraph. So you just have to find out the words. So if you can read through, you will be able to understand. It's better that you understand this, that the whole thing is from the same paragraph, so that you will be able to find the right verb. Okay. Okay, so I think you must have got that. We will go into the next one. In fact, the night of the concert, the house was packed. Every ticket dash. In fact, the night of the concert, the house was packed. Every ticket dash. The feeling of anticipation and excitement was in the air as the house manager dashed the stage and said, "Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your enthusiastic support." The feeling of anticipation and excitement was in the air as the house manager dashed the stage and said, "Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your enthusiastic support." Okay? Okay. So I'm afraid that due to illness, the man whom you all have come to hear, you all come to here dash performing tonight. I'm afraid that due to illness, the man you have all come to here dash performing tonight. However, we dash a suitable substitute who we hope will provide you with comparable entertainment. However, we dash a suitable substitute who we hope will provide you with comparable entertainment. So I think you must have understood what has been happening, right? Okay, go ahead and do it. So finish the all the answers and then we will check it up. Okay, so you must have completed by now. So let us find the answers. A famous singer had been contracted to sign at a Paris opera house and ticket sales were booming. Okay, 3. C is the answer. C is the option. So were booming. So ticket sales were booming. And in fact, the night of the concert, the house was packed. Every ticket had been sold. Okay, every ticket had been sold. In fact, the night of the concert, the house was packed. Every ticket had been sold. That is D is the option. Then when you go to the third one, the feeling of anticipation and excitement was in the air as the house manager took the stage. And he went on the stage, took the stage and said, "Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your enthusiastic support." Then, I am afraid that due to illness, the man whom you have all come to hear will not be performing tonight. Okay? He will not be. Future. He will not be for performing tonight. So, I'm afraid that due to illness, the man whom you have all come to hear will not be performing tonight. Okay? That is what is about. That is A as the option. However, we are finding a suitable substitute, okay, who we hope will provide you with comparable entertainment. So, however, we are finding a suitable substitute who we hope will provide you with comparable entertainment. That is A is an option. Got it? All of you right? Did you get it? If in case you had missed it, that's okay. You can correct it yourself now. We will move into some more verbs and we'll see. And there I'm sure you will all go ahead and do it properly. So the next one goes like this. The crowd dashed in disappointment and failed to hear the announcer mention the stand-in's name. Okay. The environment turned from excitement to frustration. The stand-in performer dashed the performance everything he had. When he had finished, there was nothing but an uncomfortable silence. No one dashed. Suddenly from the balcony, a little boy stood up and dashed. "Daddy, I think you're wonderful." The crowd dashed into thunderous applause. Okay, so now go ahead and do that. Let's see how you're going to complete this. Got it? Yeah, good. So let us look into the answers. The crowd groaned in disappointment and failed to hear the announcer mention the stand-in's name. The crowd groaned in disappointment and failed to hear the announcer mention the stand-in's name. So that is B as the answer. And the environment turned from excitement to frustration. The stand-in performer had given the performance everything he had. Okay, he had given the performance everything he had. Okay, then when he had finished, there was nothing but an uncomfortable silence. No one was applauding. So, no one was applauding. That is C. Suddenly, from the balcony, a little boy stood up and shouted. Okay, he stood up and shouted, "Daddy, I think you are wonderful." The crowd broke into a thunderous applause. So that was B. Hope I got it. Hope all of you must have got this right, I'm sure. Yes? Okay, got it? So that's how, sometimes you may get like this. So they may give the whole passage and you need to fill in the verbs, or they may give however they want. Okay, so this is how you will have to go ahead and try that, and I hope I'm clear till here. Yeah, so now that we have completed till here, I would like to give you one more I would like to give you one more. See, this is where the verbs. So we actually didn't touch up on the what do you call, the tenses. So I will just try to give you a few tips on the tenses here, so that you can just go through and have an idea of how a particular word should be, the right form of verb should be, tense should be in a particular sentence. Okay. So let me just give you that also once. Just give me a minute. So here goes. We'll just discuss on a few things on the tenses, and then okay. So tenses, we have past, present and future. Okay, this is how usually the tenses are. You all must be knowing the past, present and future. We need not go much on that. And then so there are past, present and future. Each of these will have again subdivisions. They are simple, continuous, perfect, perfect continuous. So they will have 4 divisions, each like present or past or future. All will have the 4 subdivisions, which will be simple, and it will be continuous, it will be perfect and perfect continuous. So this is how usually it goes. So I would just like to give a few sentences and examples and how what clauses they will take. Okay, suppose the main verbs are like this. So suppose there are 2 things, incidences happening at the same time, or 2 ideas which is being put at the same time. Then which takes which verb takes which tense is what we are just looking at now. That is where we usually find it confusing. Usually when we are talking about one particular thing, the confusion doesn't come. So only when there is something else, the second idea comes in, or the second incident happens, that time the whole confusion starts off. So here we will just give you, I'll just give you a few tips on this. I hope this will be, be useful for you in the verbal ability. In case you want to take a screenshot also, you can just go ahead and do it, so that you can refer to it later. Okay. So tense in the main clause. Suppose the tense in the main clause is a present tense, and what you want to say, the purpose of the dependent clause is to show the same time action, ante ade time lo jarige action when you want to say, then the tense will be also a simple present. Our tense kuda simple present lone untadi. Like for example, I am eager to go for a walk because I enjoy exercise. So this is the example. So both I am eager to go for a walk and I enjoy exercise are in the present tense. Okay, that is, there is simple present and this is a present tense. Okay, that's it. Yeah. Then suppose your main clause is simple present tense, and you want to say something which happened earlier, అంటే ఇంత ముందు జరిగింది చెప్పాలి అనుకుంటే అప్పుడు సింపుల్ పాస్ట్ వాడతాం. That time we say, for example, he feels that she made a mistake last year. Okay, he feels that she made a mistake last year. So she made a mistake anedi the simple past made. Okay, simple past. At the same time, present tense is a main clause anukondi, to show a period of time extending from some point in the past to the present. Appudu start ayi ఇప్పుడు వరకు జరిగింది అని ఉంటే, హౌ టు సే దట్, అప్పుడు ఈ సెకండ్ క్లాజ్ అనేది ప్రెసెంట్ పర్ఫెక్ట్ లో పెట్టాలి. ఏ క్లాజ్, ది ఎక్స్టెండెడ్ అన్నాం కదా, ఎక్స్టెండింగ్ ఫ్రమ్ సమ్వేర్ పాస్ట్ నుంచి ఇప్పుడు వచ్చి ప్రెసెంట్ వరకు చెప్పాల్సిన క్లాజ్ ఉంది కదా, ఆ క్లాజ్ ని ప్రెసెంట్ పర్ఫెక్ట్ లో చెప్పాలి. దట్ ఈస్ ద కాంగ్రిగేషన్ బిలీవ్స్ అంటే అది ప్రెసెంట్. ఓకే, దట్ ఇట్ హ్యాస్ సెలెక్టెడ్ అ సూటబుల్ ప్రీచర్. సో వాళ్ళు దాన్ని అప్పటి నుంచి స్టార్ట్ చేసి ఇప్పుడు చేశారు అని అర్థం. సో దట్ ఇట్ హ్యాస్ సెలెక్టెడ్ అ సూటబుల్ ప్రీచర్. సో దట్ ఈస్ హౌ ఇట్ గోస్. దెన్ సపోజ్ it is a present tense, the main clause is present tense, and you want to say some other future action, okay, to an action to come. So adi second clause anukondi, dependent clause second clause inko second di ala cheppalante, my teacher says that he will grade the text next week. Okay, my teacher says that he will grade the test next week. Okay, so that is how it goes. So I hope I'm clear till here. If you want, you can find inko konni examples deentlo petti, you can work it out. It will be really helpful. Okay, so ikkada mana main clause present tense unnappudu dependent clause lo ante manam cheppalsina purpose ante second incident elantivi ani manam like okvela same action aina lepte anta mundu jarigindanna lepte tarvata jaragapoyedanna ilanti edi unna kuda, or mundu eppudo start ayi ippudu varaku manaki కంప్లీట్ అయింది అన్న ఒక యాక్షన్ చెప్పాలన్నా కూడా, దీస్ ఆర్ ద టెన్సెస్ యూ విల్ హ్యావ్ టు యూజ్ ఇన్ ద సెకండ్ క్లాస్. అప్పుడు మనకు కరెక్ట్ గా సెట్ అవుతుంది, రైట్? దెన్ వీ విల్ బి ఏబుల్ టు ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ దాట్ ద టెన్స్ ఇన్ ద రైట్ వే, ఇన్ ద స్టేట్మెంట్ ఇన్ ద రైట్ వే. సో హోప్ ఐఎమ్ క్లియర్. సో ఇందాక మనం చేసినప్పుడు వర్బల్ అబిలిటీలో ఇలాంటివి చాలా చూసి ఉంటుంటాం కదా, ఎలాంటి క్లాస్ పెట్టాలి, ఎలాంటి వర్బ్ పెట్టాలి అని కన్ఫ్యూషన్ అయ్యి ఉంటుంది. సో ఇవన్నీ మనం చూస్తుంటే we will be able to understand that and do it a little better. అట్లీస్ట్ ప్రాక్టీస్ చేసుకుంటూ ఉంటే అది ఈజీగా వచ్చేస్తుంది. క్లియర్ టిల్ హియర్? సరే, నెక్స్ట్ చూద్దాం. సపోజ్ పాస్ట్. ఓకే, ఫస్ట్ మనం పాస్ట్ టెన్స్ చెప్పేస్తున్నాం, అంటే మన ఫస్ట్ క్లాజ్ అనేది పాస్ట్ టెన్స్ లో ఉంది. ఇప్పుడు మనం చెప్పాలని అనుకున్నది నెక్స్ట్ దాంతో పాటు వచ్చిన ఇంకొక ఐడియా అనేది కంప్లీటెడ్ యాక్షన్. అంటే అది కూడా అయిపోయింది అన్న ఒక యాక్షన్ ఉంటే సింపుల్ పాస్ట్ లోనే అది కూడా పెట్టాలి. అప్పుడు షీ కుక్డ్ ద సాల్మన్ బికాస్ షీ న్యూ ఇట్ వాస్ ఫ్రెష్. సో షీ డిడ్ దిస్, తనకు తెలుసు. సో బోత్ ఆర్ ఇన్ సింపుల్ పాస్ట్. సో దీంట్లో ఏం కన్ఫ్యూజన్ ఉండదు మోస్ట్లీ. సపోజ్ మనం ఒక క్లాజ్ అనేది సింపుల్ పాస్ట్ లో ఉండి ఇంత ముందు జరిగిన యాక్షన్ గురించి చెప్పాలంటే, అంటే ఇంత ముందు జరిగినాయి ఓకే చెప్పాలంటే, అప్పుడు పాస్ట్ పర్ఫెక్ట్ వాడతాం. అంటే he cooked the salmon well because he had attended the culinary school. అంటే ఈ యాక్షన్ జరిగిన దానికి ముందు జరిగిన యాక్షన్ అది అయిపోయింది అది కూడా. సో he cooked the salmon well because he had attended culinary school, right? So that is how it comes. So past action dependent clause అయితే మీకు సింపుల్ పాస్ట్ కానీ పాస్ట్ పర్ఫెక్ట్ కానీ వాడాలి, డిపెండింగ్ ఆన్ ద వాట్ యూ వాంట్ టు సే, ఎలాంటి ఏ టైంలో జరగాల్సిన యాక్షన్ అది అని అనుకున్నప్పుడు. ఇంకొకటి ఏంటంటే సింపుల్ పాస్ట్ ఉంది టు స్టేట్ జనరల్ ట్రూత్ చెప్పాలంటే, అంటే ఎప్పుడు జరిగేది లైక్ ద సన్ రైజెస్ ఇన్ ద ఈస్ట్, ఇటువంటి అన్ని లైక్ జనరల్ ట్రూత్ అంటాం కదా, అలా చెప్పాలన్నప్పుడు దాన్ని సింపుల్ ప్రెసెంట్ లో పెట్టేయాలి. ఇది సింపుల్ పాస్ట్, ఇది సింపుల్ ప్రెసెంట్. అంటే Copernicus believed that the universe is like a giant clock. Aparna believed that the sun rises in the east. ఓకేనా? సో ఇలాగా మనం పెట్టుకుని చెప్పచ్చు. సో ఇది సింపుల్ పాస్ట్ లో చెప్పాలి, అండ్ ఇదేమో సింపుల్ ప్రెసెంట్. గాట్ ఇట్? అర్థమైంది కదా? సో టిల్ నౌ వీఆర్ క్లియర్ ఇన్ దిస్. మనం ఎస్. సో నెక్స్ట్, సపోజ్ మెయిన్ క్లాస్ అనేది ప్రెసెంట్ పర్ఫెక్ట్ లో చెప్పాలి. ఓకే, ఇట్ ఈస్ ఇన్ ద ప్రెసెంట్ పర్ఫెక్ట్. ఓకే, అండ్ మనకు నెక్స్ట్ ఇంకొక ఇది చెప్పాల్సిందేమో అంత ముందు జరిగిన యాక్షన్, అంత ముందు ఇప్పుడు మన దీనికన్నా ఇంకొక ముందు జరిగిన యాక్షన్ చెప్పాలంటే ఇట్ ఈస్ సింపుల్ పాస్ట్. ఓకే, సో ఇప్పుడు ద లాయర్ హ్యాస్ హ్యాండిల్ అంటే అప్పటి నుంచి ఇప్పటి వరకు హీ హెస్ డన్, దట్ ఈస్ ఎర్లియర్ యాక్షన్ విచ్ హ్యాస్ బీన్ డూయింగ్, హీ స్టార్టెడ్ ఆఫ్ లాంగ్ బ్యాక్ అండ్ స్టిల్ ఇప్పటి వరకు చేశారు. సో హ్యాస్ హ్యాండిల్డ్. ఓకేనా? దట్ ఈస్ ప్రెసెంట్ పర్ఫెక్ట్, అది మెయిన్ థింగ్. మెనీ కేసెస్ సిన్స్ హీ పాస్ట్ ద బార్ అంటే ఇంక అంత ముందు జరిగిన యాక్షన్ అయిపోయింది అది. ఇది హీ హెస్ హ్యాండిల్ మెనీ కేసెస్. Because he passed that bar, he was able to handle all these cases. So first ఏంటి, he passed the bar. ఆ తర్వాత స్టార్ట్ అయ్యి ఇప్పటి వరకు he has been handling many cases కదా. సో ఇది ఏమో ప్రెసెంట్ పర్ఫెక్ట్ లో ఉంటుంది, అదేమో సింపుల్ పాస్ట్ లో ఉంటుంది. సో ద లాయర్ హ్యాస్ హ్యాండిల్డ్ మెనీ కేసెస్ సిన్స్ he passed the bar. So this is how we'll have to put it in the sentence. The structure అలా ఉంటుంది, sentence structure. ఓకే, సపోజ్ పాస్ట్ పర్ఫెక్ట్ గా ఉంది, దాని తర్వాత ఎలాంటి ఒక నెక్స్ట్ వచ్చిన ఏ పర్పస్ అయినా అయి ఉండొచ్చు, తర్వాత ముందు ఎటైనా అయి ఉండొచ్చు. అప్పుడు ఎలా చెప్పాలి? సింపుల్ పాస్ట్ లోనే చెప్పాలి. ఓకే, ద బర్డ్ హ్యాస్ ఫ్లోన్ మెనీ మైల్స్ బిఫోర్ ఇట్ ల్యాండెడ్. ఓకే, ద బర్డ్ హ్యాస్ ఫ్లోన్ మెనీ, చాలా, దట్ బర్డ్ హ్యాస్ బీన్ డూయింగ్ ఇట్. పాస్ట్ పర్ఫెక్ట్ అంటే it has been doing for quite some time and before it landed. Okay, now it has landed. So that is how we have to say. Okay, hope I'm clear till here. I hope you understood, right? Okay, next future. Main clause లో ఫ్యూచర్ ఉంది. ఇంకా నెక్స్ట్ చెప్పబోయేదేమో హ్యాపెనింగ్ అన్ని ఒకేసారి అదే టైంలో జరగపోయేది. అంటే ఇది జరగపోతుంది, అది జరగపోతుంది, అప్పుడు అది సింపుల్, అక్కడ సింపుల్ ప్రెసెంట్ టెన్సే పెట్టాలి. యూ షుడ్ నాట్, అక్కడ కూడా ఫ్యూచర్ పెట్టకూడదు, విల్ అని పెట్టకూడదు. ఓకే, సో అక్కడ సింపుల్ ప్రెసెంట్ అంటే ఐ విల్ బీ అ సెనేటర్ ఇఫ్ దే వోట్ ఫర్ మీ. ఓకే, అది సింపుల్ ప్రెసెంట్ కి వెళ్ళిపోవాలి. ఐ విల్ బీ అ సెనేటర్ ఇఫ్ దే వోట్ ఫర్ మీ రెండు ఫ్యూచర్ లో జరగబోతుంది, ఆల్మోస్ట్ ద సేమ్ టైమ్ వెన్ బోత్ ఆర్ యాక్షన్ ఆర్ హ్యాపెనింగ్ కదా. సో యూ హ్యావ్ టు డూ ద సింపుల్ ప్రెసెంట్. ఓకే, ఐ విల్ బీ అ సెనేటర్ ఇఫ్ దే విల్ ఓట్ ఫర్ మీ అని చెప్పొద్దు. ఐ విల్ బీ అ సెనేటర్ ఇఫ్ దే ఓట్ ఫర్ మీ. ఆ టైంలో వాళ్ళు అది జరగబోయే యాక్షన్. మళ్ళీ ఫ్యూచర్ టెన్స్ చెప్పేటప్పుడు ఇంకా అంతకు ముందు ఫ్యూచర్ లో it is going to happen. Just before that, if something is going to happen, that will be in simple past. Okay, that is, you will go to the concert if you waited in line. Okay, if you waited in line, you will go to the concert. So before that, if you do this, you can do that. Okay, that is how it is. If you will go to the concert if you waited in line. Got it? Clear? Okay, I hope you understood that. And then ఇంకొకటి future tense, to show future action earlier than the action of the independent clause. అంటే ఇప్పుడు ఒక యాక్షన్ ఒక మెయిన్ క్లాస్ లో అంటే ఫ్యూచర్ యాక్షన్, ఈ ఇంకొక నెక్స్ట్ క్లాజ్ అనేది ఈ ఈ యాక్షన్ కన్నా ఇంకా తర్వాత అంటే దానికి ముందు జరిగింది. ఓకే, సో సపోజ్ ఈ యాక్షన్ విచ్ ఇస్ ద యాక్షన్, అండ్ దీనికి దానికి అంత పెద్ద వెన్ దెర్ ఇస్ అ independent clause, both are independent clauses, then that is if the future, to show the future action earlier than the action of the independent clause, that is it is happened before that, this happened before that, alage I mean it will happen is a future kada, it will happen before this annappudu adi emo present perfect ku vachestadi. The second one, the first one will be future. So my grandmother will finish the puzzle soon if her dog has not eaten the pieces. Kada? So this is how it is. My mother will finish the puzzle soon. And she will do it later on. But if her dog has not eaten the pieces. Okay. So that is how the structure of the sentence is. So I hope till here you have understood. So we saw present చూసాం, పాస్ట్ చూసాం, ఫ్యూచర్ కూడా చూసాం కదా. సో ఈ ప్రెసెంట్ పర్ఫెక్ట్ చూసాం, పాస్ట్ పర్ఫెక్ట్ చూసాం, ఫ్యూచర్ చూసాం. సో రెండు క్లాస్లు ఎలా ఉంటే ఎలా వస్తుంది, లైక్ ఈ క్లాజ్ మెయిన్ క్లాజ్ ఎలా ఉంటే సెకండ్ క్లాజ్ ఎలా ఉంటే ఏ టైం చూపిస్తుంది, ఏ టైంలో అది జరుగుతుంటే ఈ క్లాజ్ ఎలా ఉంటుంది, ఈ టెన్స్ ఎలా ఉంటుంది, ఈ వర్బ్ ఒక టెన్స్ ఎలా వస్తుంది అనేది మన స్ట్రక్చర్ లో చూసాం, రైట్? సో దిస్ ఇస్ హౌ ఇట్ ఈస్. ఇఫ్ యూ వాంట్ యూ కెన్ జస్ట్ టేక్ pick and keep it, so that as I told you earlier, you can refer it whenever you find it confusing. Like ekkadanna oka chinna doubt or confusion vachinappudu idi chustunte you will be able to understand, right? It will become clear. So there is just one more where we have to, you can just have a look at this. Main clause lo tense anedi future perfect అనుకోండి. అప్పుడు ఇప్పుడు డిపెండెంట్ క్లాస్ ఏ పర్పస్ అయినా పర్లా, లైక్ ఏదన్నా చెప్పాలనుకుంటే అది ఏమవుతుందంటే సింపుల్ ప్రెసెంట్ అన్న అవుతుంది, ప్రెసెంట్ పర్ఫెక్ట్ అన్న అవుతుంది. లైక్ ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఇప్పుడు ఫ్యూచర్ పర్ఫెక్ట్ అంటే ద ఫ్యాక్టరీ విల్ హ్యావ్ ప్రొడ్యూస్డ్, అంటే ద ఫ్యాక్టరీ విల్ హ్యావ్ ప్రొడ్యూస్డ్ మెనీ విడ్జెట్స్ లాంగ్ బిఫోర్ ఇట్ క్లోజెస్. లైక్ ఐదర్ సింపుల్ ప్రెసెంట్ అంటే క్లోజెస్, బిఫోర్ ఇట్ క్లోజెస్ అన్నారు కదా, క్లోజెస్ అంటే సింపుల్ ప్రెసెంట్ లో అన్న రావచ్చు. The factory will have produced many widgets long before it closes, or the factory will have produced many widgets long before it has closed. It has closed anna vaadachu, closes anna vaadachu, ఏదైనా అయి ఉండొచ్చు. లైక్ ఇట్ మే బి ఎనీ టైమ్ క్లాస్, ఎక్కడైనా ఏ టైం అయినా అయి ఉండొచ్చు. అప్పుడు యూ హ్యావ్ టు యూజ్ ఇట్ లైక్ దిస్. సో దట్ విల్ బి ద స్ట్రక్చర్ ఆఫ్ ది సెంటెన్స్. సో ఆల్ క్లియర్, అర్థమైందా? సో ఇది మన టెన్సెస్. I just wanted to explain this so that ఇప్పుడు మనం ఈ verbal ability కి this will be very very useful for you. So దాంట్లో lot of blanks will cater to the tenses అడుగుతారు verbs ఏ tense లో రావాలి అనేవన్నీ మనకు అడుగుతారు. To some extent this will be useful. ఇంకా దీని కాకుండా చాలా ఉన్నాయి, కంటిన్యూస్ ఉంది, అన్నీ ఉన్నాయి, but I was able to give you this much. So hope you will learn something out of this. And there are a lot of things, so please go ahead and look at the sentence structure in you can search in Google. There are a lot of sentence structures where the present continuous, past continuous ivanni kuda untayi. ఆ స్ట్రక్చర్ ఒక్కసారి మీకు అర్థమైందంటే హౌ దట్ వాట్ క్లాజ్, ఏ వర్బ్ ఎక్కడ రావాలి, ఏ యాక్షన్ ని చూపించడానికి ఆ వర్బ్ అక్కడ వాడాలి అనేది కొంచెం టు సమ్ ఎక్స్టెంట్ ఒక ఐడియా వచ్చిందంటే you will be able to get the take the right option, ఆన్సర్ కరెక్ట్ గా పెట్టడానికి ఈజీగా ఉంటుంది, రైట్? హోప్ ఐఎమ్ క్లియర్. సో yes, any doubts? You have any doubts, you can go ahead and ask. Yes, all clear is what I got. No doubts. Thank you. Okay, Niharika, thank you so much. Um, in case you feel that you have any doubts, you can always ask, because we have completed a model paper where we saw the reading comprehension. I'm sure you must have got it right. You can find a lot of other reading comprehensions in your in the internet, in the Google. You can just go search a lot of reading comprehensions, a lot of Parajumbles, fill in the blanks. All these are available in the internet. If you just go and have a look, you will find them there. You can practice. As much as you practice, it will help you out, because you will come, as I've already discussed. We have discussed this earlier also. You need to know vocabulary, one thing, grammar of all the tenses, the articles, the prepositions, all this. If you keep trying, keep practicing, it becomes easy. Like, there are similar sentences as what you will be facing in the verbal ability, so that you will be able to come out with the flying colors. So I hope this session was very useful to you. In case you have any doubts, you want any clarity on something, so I'll definitely help you out. No doubts? Okay. Okay. So thank you all for being here, and I would like to thank APSSDC and Nandi Foundation for giving me this opportunity to conduct this training skills for all the students. And I wish all the students good luck for their exams for the verbal ability Infosys, and I hope all of you will do all the answers correct. Yes. I hope all your answers are right. And so thank you so much